Well, greetings and thanks for joining us today for the 95th episode of Lightbulb Moments. Remember, money isn't the most important thing in life, but it's reasonably close to oxygen on the gotta have it scale. Hi, I'm Tom Qnity from Qnity. I'm your host. We're here to help take what's overwhelming, confusing, and complicated into a simpler and clearer path towards greater financial prosperity or wellness, using rules of engagement, simple, visual, and actionable. The Pro Beauty Compensation Study is not just open for entry. It is soon coming to, at least the first part of it, it is soon coming to a deadline, which is next Monday for the data submission part of this. I've got this up on the screen, so we've extended the deadline to submit the data. It is by end of day next Monday. This is a screenshot from our website. All you have to do is go to qnityinc.com and it'll take you through everything. So the first phase, I'm sorry, not phase, part, okay, is to submit your data. We made it super simple. You enter into a worksheet that we create for you. It's from an independent CPA firm. And many of you have gotten part of the process done, but we're really hoping that you could take it to completion as well as recruit anybody else to be part of this study. The data submission again ends Monday, and then we have a couple weeks to complete the survey, which is an even shorter and quicker process than submitting the data. So we're certainly going to remind you of the importance of this, not only for your own recruiting and retention, but also to change the narrative in pro beauty about what a career looks like. And I do want to emphasize that participation in this also entitles you to the report, which is going to be rich with information, the first information that we've seen like this since at least I've been in the beauty industry. So strong call to action. The survey questions are very, very rich in terms of what they're going to produce in terms of information for all of us. Also, 2 to 10 is coming up in a few weeks. If you're eligible, we hope that you've signed up and we hope to see you soon. It's a great community of multi-location salons that get together once a year. All right, to prosper, remember to manage your ATM, your attention, time, and money, and it's not lost on us how important your time is. So thanks for spending your precious time with us today. Past recordings are on YouTube. If you're listening to this on YouTube, thanks for listening to the recording. I think you'll enjoy our session today with Laura, which we're going to get to in a moment. We welcome members of the school community and the salon and spa community. And I want to get to some light bulb moments before we bring Laura to the mic here. All right, so some light bulb moments. I had a great conversation with Laura yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about small business, financial management, and we're going to get to some of the things we covered in a little bit. It also led me to, well, each week I try to do a little bit of research and try to bring something relevant to the conversation. Just hot off the press, literally just got this, is a CFO report, which this is a high-level view of finance, team projections and strategies. And so this is a study by CFO, and CFO is an organization that is a series of content that is produced with sponsorship of Oracle, but it's all about resources for CFOs. And in many cases, you are the CFO. In small business, in many cases, there is not a separate function or separate individual for the CFO function. Laura, for example, who you'll get to in a moment here, she is the CFO. And, there's small businesses and there's micro businesses. A micro business is under $5 million, which is the majority of the salon industry and the spa industry, at least day spas. And so learning a little bit from CFOs, I think, is relevant for all of us here. So here's a few findings from this I'm going to call out here. This recent study that was done with CFOs from across the US, more cognizant of cash flow management and creative. They are more cognizant of cash flow management and creative with workforce attraction and retention. Spending is being looked at very closely, of course, as it always should be. as well as raising prices while exploring or building technology efficiently. Although cautious about inflation and potential global recession, they're adopting new hiring and pricing policies and working more collaboratively while pushing forward with growth initiatives. Some other key findings I want to go through with you. These CFOs are looking at they're generally confident. Their businesses are experiencing growth or building business resiliency. Business resiliency, that's a good one. Next is plans are coming to fruition. Most CFOs expect their internal structural goals and expectations to come to fruition. Talent remains a concern, of course. Talent acquisition and retention, both in the finance function and the organization. CFOs are concerned about rising salaries and worker demands and commitment. Interesting. Inflation, top of mind. CFOs continue to explore ways to deal with increased costs by reducing expenses and developing strategies to pass along cost increases to customers. And then finally, technology spending will continue as they look to enhance worker productivity and reduce time and errors by automating back office tasks and operational activities. So some interesting findings from this, which I think will tie into the conversation that we're going to have with Laura in just a second here. And, as far as inflation, big topic right now, about 41% of CFOs say they wish they had evaluated areas of potential inflation mitigation before 2022. So, all right, well, hindsight's 2020, isn't it? Lightheart Sanders, I do want to give these guys a shout out. They help sponsor the roundtable, and they're also the independent CPA firm for the compensation study, and they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. So shout out to Lightheart Sanders, not only for being a sponsor of the roundtable, but for their efforts to make this compensation study, which is so needed. I think my closing thought is that the compensation study is very top of mind for me. It is we're at a critical point, and we could use as much help as we possibly could get, so that high participation is there. The more people that are part of the study, the more relevant it is. So, and it takes a village. So I'm unapologetic in my plea and request of all of you to help do what you can to make sure that we have a timely submission of the information, and then also that you start with start with your company. And if you haven't completed, please complete it ASAP, and then reach out to some other business owners that so we can have a great report. So, all right, guys, it is now 36 minutes after the hour. I can see we have many of our favorite people as usual. What a great group. So thanks for tuning in this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again to Laura, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye now.